One of the biggest reasons that creators put off for starting their Kajabi trial isn't the technology. It's actually the dread of staring at a blank sales page and not knowing what to write. That's not writer's block, that's a structure problem. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to build a simple Kajabi sales page that stops the overthinking and actually converts using just one template and 3 core UX or user experience zones on that website: the promise, the problem, and the proof. We'll let Kajabi's AI, which is called Cofounder, handle the blank page. But, and this is the crucial UX secret, we're going to feed it real words from real people first. That way, your page actually converts instead of sounding like a generic robot. I'm Carl. I've done UX design and strategy for Fortune 150 companies, and I now combine that with my background as an educator to help creators use Kajabi and AI to build offers that look and feel professional and, of course, human. Now, most Kajabi tutorials that you'll see online just show you which buttons to click and things like that. Instead, I'm going to show you how to think about the page like a UX designer, a user experience designer, and that way you can launch your offer the same week you start your trial. And you get to the blank sales page like this. This is the moment where most creators get stuck. They know their offer is good, but they don't know what goes first and what goes in the middle and how to end without sounding pushy. And so either cram everything into one long paragraph or just, abandon the page entirely. Now, Kajabi's templates are already designed to guide visitors step by step through the sales funnel and toward a decision. It's got a strong hero, it's got space to address pain points, it's got a section for benefits and testimonials, and it's got a clear checkout connection. So we're going to lean into that structure instead of fighting it. Once you click landing pages, there's going to give you a lot of options. And I know that can be overwhelming. You've got a lead generation wizard, you've got start from scratch, you've got all these global branding and sales page templates and things like that. And then there's even other types of landing pages. Since we're doing a sales page, we can use one of these sales page templates. I've used them before. They work great. But just for our demonstration, so it's less distracting on the existing content, I'm just going to click this blank sales page right here. The framework that I'm going to use will work with either way, depending on what you want to try once you get into Kajabi. I'm going to click blank. I'm going to click get started. Title. I'm going to say sales page tutorial. Hit create. Kajabi gives you a ready-made hero section with a headline, and you can add a subheadline and a button. And so we're going to use that. And this is going to be what we call the promise zone. The entire job of this page is to answer 3 questions at a glance. Okay. What is this? Who is it for? And why should I care right now? So now I've added a subheading and a call to action button in my new hero section. And then this is where most creators would mess up. They would go into ChatGPT and say, write a headline for my course about topic blank. But that's just going to give you generic, cheesy AI slop, right? So instead, we're going to use a UX research trick. I'm going to paste at least 5 real quotes from my audience. This could be from sales calls I've had or welcome emails that I've gotten responses from. It could be quotes from folks on Reddit. It could be from YouTube comments. Any of those places, I'm going to put it straight into Kajabi's AI called Cofounder. Then I'm going to ask Cofounder, I created a course that teaches blank based only on the frustrations that real people are expressing. I want you to write a 1-sentence promise that clearly states the outcome of this offer, which is designed to solve their problem. So to access Kajabi's custom-built AI for course creators, you're going to click this little symbol up there, this little diamond, and that's going to give you a new conversation with Cofounder, Kajabi's AI. And then I'm going to paste in my prompt. So it has my quotes in it, and it has the prompt that I mentioned up here. And we're going to take out topic that teaches screenplay formatting. This is one of my old courses, and I've got lots of research on this already. Talked to a lot of people about this. I've only got 4 quotes in here, but they're kind of long. But the more quotes you have, the better. And then Cofounder's going to think about that. And then here's what it says. Learn a clear, flexible version of industry standard screenplay formatting so that you can stop second guessing conflicting rules, avoid the small mistakes that make you look like an amateur, and confidently format your scripts in a way that supports your storytelling instead of restricting it. Now, this first draft might seem like it needs some tightening, and that's true because it does, but it is still based on real human data, and that's going to resonate much more than whatever, ChatGPT would say. So we want it to read a little tighter in some kind of format like, this is a clear step-by-step way for specific outcome in blank time frame without big fear. So we're going to try to paste this in here and then work on what it's like based on that. All right. Learn clear, flexible, industry standard screenplay formatting so you can, write scripts in a way, write scripts that support your storytelling instead of restricting it. Right? And these other things about second guessing conflicting rules, avoiding small mistakes, those are really good too. But I can use that later on down in the page when we start to kind of agitate what the problem is, right? And then I'm just going to click save. And if you want to, I would suggest taking exactly what you're learning from Cofounder and pasting it somewhere else just for your notes so that you can have it later on. And again, this is all iterative. You can come back to this. I'm going to come back to this. Now that we have an iterated version of that, the button copy is going to say what happens next, right? So instead of the generic learn more, maybe I want to say something like enroll now. And notice with all of this, I'm not having to touch any type of code. I'm not having to do any type of, like JavaScript or anything like that. You don't have to be a professional designer or a developer in order to make this type of professional sales page. So now the hero section, aside from, changing the background colors and adding an image, essentially the main message here is done so that a stranger could skim this area and tell what you sell, who it's for, and what the next step is. If you're not quite ready to jump into Kajabi yet because you're intimidated by the idea of creating a sales page or an entire website to go along with your course, then you can download my non-designer's UX hacks guide for free. It is a non-technical walkthrough of all of the user experience principles that I use when I'm building courses and pages just like this. So go ahead and click the link below and drop in your email. Send it to you completely for free. Next up is the problem zone. I'm going to quickly create a little area in here for that. So I'm going to hit back and go back again because we're out of the hero section. I'm going to add a new section. You've got a lot of options here that are very easy to use and to customize. Next, make sure you click add, and then here we have it. Now we've got a new section here. This is going to be our problem zone. This is where you're going to show your visitors that you understand what they're stuck on before you ever really pitch the solution. So we're going to ask Cofounder to extract the exact vocabulary from our research quotes to write 3 to 5 short problem bullets. So I'm going to say, using those quotes, again, give me 3 to 5 short bullet points which agitate or expand on the pain points these people feel. Make sure to mirror their verbiage and tone. All right, so a prompt kind of like that. And then look at that. It's given me these bullet points. I'm going to give some headline. So I wrote a little header, but then before I paste these bullets in here, here's where I bring things back to the human-centered design process. Because when you're working with an LLM, they are programmed to flatter you and sound confident, even when they're writing cliches. So before I actually paste what it gave me into my page here, I'm going to run what I like to call a devil's advocate prompt. I'm literally telling the AI to act as a ruthless copy editor, right? I want it to tell me which of these bullets sound generic or boring or like any other course on the internet. All right, I'm going to take that prompt and put it back in here. Now let's see what it says. The one that risks sounding the most generic, like every other course, is this. Basics, little mistakes, look amateur is very standard course copy language. It doesn't lean into the specifics. Then rewrite the bullet so it's the same specificity and edge as others. You can say yes. Rewrite so it's all right. And now I'm going to take this in here, take our new bullet, put it in here. So doing this quick devil's advocate step forces the AI to catch its own fluff. So if I was doing this for a client or for a real course outline, then I would read each one and then keep only the bullets that sound like something an actual student has said. If a line feels vague, then it gets deleted, right? You want to make sure you double check all this updated copy for the tone and verbiage that came out of your real quotes. Asking the AI to do it is a good step, but you have to, of course, double check it, because ultimately you're responsible for what goes on this website. Because the goal here is for your reader to feel seen. You don't want them to feel pressured. So when this section is actually right, they should be nodding along thinking, okay, person gets it. Now we're going to move on to the proof zone. This is where you're going to put in things like testimonials or offer details and FAQs. Kajabi makes this really easy to add. I'm going to hit save, and then we're going to add a new section in here, right? First, I'm going to do 3 feature cards. I'll click add a little block of text to go along with that. I'm going to say introducing, right, the course. All right. And then I'm going to just drag and drop this up to the top. And it's going to put it above those. And then to make sure that's where I want it, I'm going to say make this block on its own row. I'm going to space it out so it is wider. And I'm just going to make all of these the same width for my different modules. All right. Then, based on my course outline, I'm going to actually paste that into Cofounder and then ask the AI to write a 1-sentence outcome-focused description for each model based on our previous real-life research, right? So we're taking the modules that I've already made and the research that we've already put in there and making sure that it connects the two so that you're actually trying to sell in your sales page to felt needs, right? And not just what you're going to be learning, right? People don't buy knowledge, they buy transformation. And so that's what we want to make sure we connect here with our copy. Okay, now notice what it did here. It said, here's an outcome-focused description for each item you listed. But that's not what I said. I said each module, right? So I'm going to try this again and say, No, not a sentence per lesson item, but a sentence per module, as listed with the words module and then number. Let's see how it handles it. There we go. That's better. Let's do this for the first one. I'm going to say, build a solid foundation of why format exists, what industry standard really means, what tools and conventions matter. You can stop treating format like arbitrary rules and start using it as a practical communication tool. Why format matters, right? And this is actually rooted in not just the outline I gave, but also the real human quotes that we gave above. Again, you want to go through, make sure it matches that, tweak the writing, tweak the language. But this gives you a starting point, which is so hard for people that are not professional copywriters. I write feature-length screenplays. That means they're over 100 pages on average. And I still am intimidated by writing a one-sentence line of copy because that's just not what I do. And so by using Kajabi's built-in AI, which is specific for course creators, especially the course material that you have if you're in Kajabi, once you sign up for it, this is going to help you get over that blank page syndrome and actually dive into the part where you're focusing on what your potential students need, what they're looking for, what their desires are, what their false beliefs are, and how what you have to offer them can overcome that. And this is why I keep emphasizing you having to check what the AI is saying, because the AI can write a bullet point, but it can't build human trust. And that's why I keep emphasizing this human-only tweaks. And so that's why you would have to go through and manually inject your own story. It might be a real student's name in the testimony. It might be a specific nuance that only an expert would know, or some other kind of personal anecdote, right? So the AI is building the skeleton, and then your humanity is actually what closes the sale and enables you to provide value to your student. Finally, in the pricing and FAQ section, we keep things simple. A clear price, and then FAQ that addresses real objections like, how much time would this take? Do I need any extra software to do this screenwriting course? Things like that that's specific to what your students would want to know. And so at this point, once you've added all of that, your page has a promise, a clear picture of the problem, and enough proof to help someone make a real decision. So let's do that based on the real life quotes. We started with, what kind of objections would these potential students have about this course? And how can I overcome them based on my course outline? So again, I'm pointing the AI back to the real life research, not just saying, write FAQs for me. Write an FAQ about screenwriting, formatting course, right? So some of these might be applicable to your FAQ section, and some of these might just be applicable to different areas of sales copy, which is helping overcome psychological objections to your main offer, right? So we can assume at this point that all of your copy is filled out because you've been working with the AI to help with that. All that's really left is to do some of the other things, like changing pictures, fonts, colors to match your brand. And you can do all of that over here. Just do the bare minimum, right? We can always come back and tweak this later. Just do the bare minimum. Minimum viable sales page. I want to zoom out for a second. Notice what we didn't do today, right? We didn't tell the AI to write a sales page and just blindly publish it. We actually grounded it in real human research, forced it to critique its own cliches, and then applied human-only polish. And that is real experience design based in human-centered design principles. This helps you to build a lean version, get feedback from real people, even if you don't publish it yet, and then iterate so that you can continue to make this page better and better and actually reach the people that you're trying to help with your offer. Which of these three zones on the sales page that you want to build feels the most intimidating to you right now? Is it your promise? Is it your problem story? Or is it your proof? Let me know down in the comments. And if you are ready to build your Kajabi sales page and you want the exact word-for-word prompts that I use to force Kajabi's custom AI to assist me like a product strategist and UX researcher from course concept all the way to launch, use the link in the description to start an exclusive 30-day Kajabi trial. When you start your free trial with that link, it unlocks my full safe launch system as a bonus. It's got the AI prompt pack for your copy and the Kajabi confidence course so that you don't get lost in the back end. You'll still get the free non-designer's UX hacks guide either way, but the safe launch system is only available when you come in through that extended 30-day trial link. So grab those down below and I'll see you inside the Kajabi confidence course where you'll go from blank page to minimum viable course ready to launch in just 7 days.